Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing the recipe page. So this is a very interesting challenge. We're going to be building out a recipe kind of application, so where we show the meal on top and then the title of the meal and then everything else right basically inside here. So I don't know whether they give us an API to use for this. Can use any tools, download starter code, the readme.md file. So I think maybe it is in the readme file, but let's just go ahead and start the challenge and then download the starter files. And then once you download them, it is going to be in your downloads folder or wherever that you've set it to be. So in my downloads folder, I'm going to right click on this and then extract it. And then once it extracts, I'm going to open this up and then say, why isn't there a place for opening Visual Studio Code? So let me just say code dot to open this up in an instance of VS Code right there. We can close this. And let's see, let's take a look at the README. Does it provide, I trust the authors, yes. Does it provide anything about the API? Where to find everything? So there's not really an API given to us, or at least none that I can see. Perhaps, okay, you know, it is hard-coded inside. It is hard-coded. I mean, we can do that, but we can do that for this project, but I feel like transforming this into something more dynamic. I think I might do that in another video, really, using Next.js, because it's nice, you know. So let's go ahead and do this. Inside our workspace, let's go ahead and create an index.css file. And then inside here, let's reset the margin to 0, margin 0, padding 0, box sizing, border box, save it. And then let's go ahead and set up our fonts immediately. Oh, we have two fonts. So we have outfit and then we have young serif. I don't know which is which. So let me go ahead and come on. If I can just click on the correct place. So inside the design, we have the desktop design. Okay. So I think outfit is the text and then the young serif is the titles. So let me go ahead and do this. Inside my index CSS, we're going to go to the top and I'm going to say add font face. And then for the font family, I'm going to call this outfit. The URL is going to be /assets /fonts /outfit /static, very long path, / I want to go with the regular. And then the format is going to be a true type font. And then copy this down, change this into young serif, one word, and then change this into fonts / young serif / young serif regular. And then the format is also going to be true type font. And then on the body, I want to go ahead and do this. I want to say that the font family for the body is going to be outfit, just because I want to see what is going to happen on the screen. And then in my index.html, I'm going to right click right here and say open with live server, which is going to open up that. Okay. So I think that is correct. Just to test it out, let me remove this from here. Does the font even change? Let's use the young serif. The font doesn't seem to change. Oh. Anyway, we're going to figure this out in case of anything. We're going to figure it out once we begin building it out. Now let's take a look at the mobile design. So let's open up the design here. Let's open up the desktop design. So this is how it looks on desktop. So it has this background color. So we need to get that background color. And then we need to go ahead and grab what else. So on mobile, it spans the entire width. We can't see the background color on mobile, right? So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to say, let's check this out first of all. So this is going to be our H1, and then this is going to be an H3. So preparation time, and then the rest of these are going to be H2s, H2, H2, and H2. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's go inside our index.html. Is it, should we should do what? Let me grab this entire thing, cut it out, place it inside the div with a class of container, and then paste it back in. Change this up. Let's add in a link to my website, .netlify.app. Change this to my name, and then let's do the following. So above this, there is an image coming from ./assets/images /image omelet, and then this is going to be our h1. So h1, paste it in, and then now let's take a look at this. So below this we have a paragraph. Now the way I want to structure this is I want each section to be inside its own kind of container because it's going to be easier. So for example, this part from the title here all the way up to just before the ingredients is going to be an article or a div, for example. And then the ingredients here is going to be another div, and then the instructions is going to be another div, and then nutrition another div. It's going to be easier to structure it like that. So let me grab this part from here up to here, cut it out, place it inside a div, oops, and then paste it in, and then cut this out. This is going to be a paragraph, and then the preparation time here is turned out to be just a bit different. If you take a look, right, it looks a bit like purplish or pinkish with a very slight background. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to give this an article and then paste it in, and then this is going to be an h3 that says preparation time, and then this is a ul. So this is another list because you can see it has bullets. So we're going to see the following. Oops, cut this out up to here. We're going to say ul, and then we're going to have 3 list items, li times 3. Okay, and then cut this out, paste it here, cut this out, paste it here, and cut this out and paste it here. And then what I want to do is, if you take a look, this text is bold and then the rest of the text. So what I'm going to do is I want to style it differently. So I'm going to say place this inside a span, or not, instead of doing that, we can just say place this inside a strong tag, just to limit the number of steps the amount of steps that we need to write. So strong, and then this one as well, strong. And then let's go inside the ingredients. So the ingredients right here, cut this out right there, cut out, place it inside the div, which is going to be our second div. This is going to be an h2, and then these are still another list. So ul, and that list item, copy this down, 1 2 3 4 5. So one more, cut this out, paste it here, cut this out, paste it there, and paste it there, cut this out, paste it there, and finally this one, and paste it there. Remove this extra space. Fantastic. And then we get the instructions. So for the instructions, once again, just cut this entire thing out all the way up to nutrition, cut it out, place it inside another div, and then this is going to be an h2. Then let's see, now this is an ordered list. It is an ordered list. This is unordered. I'm even making sense. So this is a ul, this is an ol, so it is an ordered list. So we're going to cut this out, cut it out all the way up to here, place it inside an ol, and then this is going to be a list item. So cut this out. Wait, what? You can add bpx, where is it, fluffier texture. Okay, so cut this out, list item, and then this is inside a strong tag. So cut it out, place it inside a strong tag so that it is bolded, and then do the same thing for number 2. So li, cut this out, place it inside a strong tag, and then for number 3, list item, cut this out, strong tag, and then number 4, cut this out, list item, cut this out, strong tag, and then number 5, cut this out, list item, cut this part out, place it inside a strong tag. Oops, I'm doing something wrong. Where is it? Fold and serve, this part, cut it out, strong tag, and then this one, cut this out, list item. Oh my god, what am I doing? Cut this out, list item, cut this part out, strong tag. There we go. Fantastic. Before we save it, let's do the last one. So this div up to here, cut it out, place it inside another div. This is going to be an h2, and then below the h2, this is going to be the text. Let me see. So this is going to be text. Cut this out, place it inside a paragraph, and then we have this looking like that. Okay, let me see. How do I want to structure this? This is going to be like a paragraph and then the span, paragraph, span, paragraph, span. So let's do this. Cut this out. And what, instead of saying paragraph, let's place it first inside an article, and then we're going to cut this out and say paragraph, and then this is going to be the span, and then bring this downwards up to here, and then paragraph, and then span, and then paragraph, really, paragraph, and then span. Really, what am I doing? Why isn't this thing cutting and pasting? Span. Okay, paragraph, span. Okay, fantastic. Now let's go ahead and save that, and I have prettier, so it formats it for me. And this is missing text. As the omelette continues, where is it? As the omelette continues, fold and serve, fold and serve. Is there any other one? I don't think so. Okay, so save that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our application, and we have that looking almost presentable, but not so quite, right? And so now let's begin to style this out. What we're going to do is we're going to go back inside our CSS file. We have reset all this, so we need to do a few things. Let me place this to the right, place this to the left. Fantastic. Really, now what we need to do is the following. We need to prevent this horizontal scrolling by the image. So I'm going to say that for all the images, they're going to have a max width of 100%, so that they always fit inside their container. Or you know what, I haven't linked my CSS file. That's why the styles are not applying. So just link it below this. So link index.css, save it, and there we go. And then now we can also cut this attribution from here and then remove this part because we don't need it anymore. Save that, and then we can paste it below this for the attribution. Fantastic. And then now let's take a look once again. So the image spans the entire width, but the rest of the text is has some kind of padding on the left and right. So therefore what we're going to do is this. We're going to say that for, and this should be inside the first div so that it is structured correctly. And let me add a space here. So I want to be inside the div with the class of container, and then inside every single div. Is it? Let me just check it. Div, 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 and div. Okay, so inside the class of container, I want to go inside every single div that is not the first child. So every single div except the first child, I'm going to give it a padding of about 1.5 rem all around. And see what that does? It gives a padding on every single div that you have inside except the one that contains the image. Okay, so that is very important to note, so that now the image doesn't push inwards. And you might have noticed that in our structure, the image doesn't have a div container, right? So that is going to be helpful, because if we were to put this inside the div, then it's going to mess up with our styling. So just place it outside so that it doesn't give us issues. You can see that it looks, we are not even doing anything to it, right? So let's go inside the h1. So inside the h1, let me go ahead and say above this, I want the h1 and the h2s to have a font family called young serif. Okay, and I want to remove this from here. Actually not, only the font family. Is it applying? It's not applying. Outfit. font family outfit, source URL assets font outfit regular, young serif regular. Let's go into Google Fonts. Let's go into fonts.google.com. Let's search for this font that is called outfit to see how it looks. So outfit is this one. So outfit is the text. Outfit is the text for our application. Therefore, this should have a text called young serif. Save it. And then the body should have a font family. Font family. And not even the body. Let me just specify for everything else. So here, let's set the font family to what's it called? Outfit. But for some reason it's not applying. Even if I say important, still not applying. I'm going to figure this out later. Let's just continue building our application. Let's remove the bullets. And actually not, the bullets are actually useful. So we are not going to remove the bullets. We're just going to style them out. So let's go ahead inside the first div. And you know what? Let me go inside. I need to give these class names because I don't want to use pseudo classes for everything. So inside this first div, I'm going to give this a class, and I'm going to call this a class of, let me just call it banner because it's the first div. And then inside this second one, give this a class of ingredients. And then the third one is going to have a class, called instructions. And then the fourth one is going to have a class called nutrition. And that should be okay. So save that. And then let's go inside the first div that is called the banner. Let's go inside the H1, and then let's give it a margin bottom of 1 rem pushed away from the text. Let's go inside the and I want to specify this for every paragraph. So let me go above. Let me say that for every paragraph to have a line height of 1.8, just to oh, that's too big. That's like, let's 1.6, and then give it a text color. And for that, we're going to be inside our style guide so that we can grab the, what are these colors? Really? What are these colors for sure? Okay, we're going to do a bit of trial and error. Nutmeg should be the headings, and then dark raspberry. So let's copy this, paste it here. Is that correct? No, that is not correct. Nutmeg, perhaps nutmeg is the correct one. Is it? Nope. Nutmeg is for the headings. So let's copy this, paste it here. That is for the headings. And then let's say that the font size, font family. Oh wait, not font family, but the color. The color for this. Let's go ahead and continue trying. So rose white, eggshell, light gray, whatever this word is, brown. Copy, and I think, you know what, I think it's dark charcoal. So let's copy dark charcoal, paste it here. And yeah, there we go. So it is dark charcoal. Okay, that is for the paragraphs. And I want this to apply on the list items as well, so that the list items are going to look like that. Okay, so you can see that the ones that are in bold, the ones that we placed inside the strong tag, and I did this wrongly. So let's fix that. So where we have our strong tag, so it is a list item, so only enjoy is in the strong tag. So cut this out, paste it here after that. There we go. So once we have that, let's go ahead and continue styling this out. We need the list items to push in inwards just a bit, because you can see that by default they are pushed out just a bit. So what I'm going to do is that, let me go below this. I'm going to say that for the UL and for the OL, then I'm going to give them a padding on the left of 30 pixels, which is going to push them inwards. And 30 pixels might be a bit too big. Let me just check. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. Let's reduce it to 20. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, let's use 20. 20 looks much better. And then now let's go inside this article right there. So we know that article is inside the banner. So inside the dot banner class, we want to go inside the article and give it a background color. And the background color is purplish. So I don't know what color that is here. So just going to test them out. Nope, that is not it. It should be light gray, rose white. Rose white should be it. Copy, paste it here. There we go. And then for the banner article, for the dot banner class, I want the article, and then I want the h3 inside the article, which is this text. And I want the color for that to be, so this is going to have a color of, let's see, eggshell. Is it? No. Let me see. What color is this? It's like a dark version of this background color. So wingy brown. Paste it here. No. Dark charcoal, rose white, eggshell. Really? I don't think so. Okay, there we go. And then let's give this article some padding all around, 1.5 rem. Let's give it a border radius. So border radius 1 of 0.5 rem. Give it a margin top, margin dash top, 1.5 rem. There we go. And so inside the ingredients, and what I just realized is this: the list items need to have some kind of extra spacing, and there needs to be extra space between this heading. So let's add some margin bottom here of 1 rem, or let me say 0.5 rem, not so big. And what I'm going to do is right above, right where, let me go below this. I'm going to say that for the list items, we're going to have a margin on the top of 1 rem. That's too much. Let's say 0.5 rem. So each of the list items is going to have a margin top of 0.5 rem. You can see that it even adds the spacing between this one and the heading as well. So that looks okay. And then now let's go ahead and do what? I think the text is supposed to be grayed out a bit more. I think we chose the wrong color for the text. We might have. And let's see, eggshell. Is it eggshell here? Is it in? No, that's not it. Light gray, or this one. I think it's this one. Is it in? Yes, I think that should be it. I think that is the correct one. That is the correct one. So now that we have that, you will notice that for the div, the class of ingredients, if you take a look, you will find that on the bottom it has like a border, and then for the instruction it also has a border. So what you can do is, instead of adding multiple borders, we can just go inside the div with the class of instructions and then add a border on the top and then add a border on the bottom. So let's do this. So let me say below this, I'm going to say that for the div with the class of instructions, and I'm going to say border top, and border top is going to say 1 pixel solid, and the very HSL color that I just copied, so it's going to be that one. Maybe not so much. Let's use eggshell. I think eggshell is lighter. Save it. Nope, not that one. Copy this one. Let's try it. Light gray. Yeah, let's use that one. And then border top, copy this down, and border bottom. And on the bottom we're going to have that. Fantastic. Now once we have that, let's go ahead and style the nutrition. So below this, let's say that for the dot nutrition, we're going to have what? For the dot nutrition, let me remember this. How do I style it? So dot nutrition paragraph, and then this is an article with paragraphs. Probably shouldn't have placed paragraphs inside here, so let's change it up. Let me select this and change this into list item. So here, list item, then change to list item, then list item, then list item. And then because we're using list items, let's grab this, place them inside IUL, like so. And we're going to have that. And for this one, we're going to give it a style of list style type. Set it to none so that we don't have the the bullets on this final one. And then I want to remove the default border, or not the border really, but the padding that I added. So I'm going to say padding of none or padding of 0, because I added a padding, if you remember. So padding 0. And then now let's continue to style this out. So we're going to say that for the class of nutrition, we want to access the paragraph, give it a margin dash top of 1 rem. Is it centered to the, is it text centered? No, it's not. And then let's go inside the list item. So for the dot nutrition class, for the UL, I'm going to say that for the list items to display as a flexbox. Okay. And then I'm going to say align item center and justify content to space around, so that now they're going to do that. Okay, align item center, maybe not. And then what we want is we need to add some border on each of them, or rather on the border bottom here and here and here. So we're going to say this. We're going to say that for the list item, we are going to say specify a border bottom of 1 pixel solid, and HSL should be this very same one, so 301887, this one. And we're going to have that, and then give them a padding of 0 on the top and bottom, and let me say 0.5 rem on the 0.5 rem on the top and bottom, and 0 on the left and right. And we're going to have that. And then we don't want this border on the bottom on the last one. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that for the dot nutrition class, we want to go inside the UL and inside the list item, which is the last child, meaning the last one in the list. And we're going to say border bottom and set this to none, which is going to remove the border on the final one. So looking fantastic. Now all you need to do is just figure out why our fonts are not applying. Okay, so I just figured it out. It is because I had format here. So when I place the format to TTF, it somehow doesn't like recognize the font or something. So format TTF, like it doesn't recognize the font. So I don't know whether I was doing this wrongly or what, but for some reason when I have the format, then it doesn't work, and then when I remove it, it works. And I don't understand why, because in a previous project, I mean in the other one, I think it was the social links, we did the very same thing but with the format, and it worked. So it's a bit iffy if you ask me. Okay, so this is in post. I went back to take a look at the challenge that we did about the social links, and I noticed that the font wasn't applying because I had the format function where we were declaring the font. I have since then corrected it and it is now working, so you should use the method that is displayed in this video. But okay, so we have this working. Now what you need to do is the H1, or the H1 and the H2 right here, I want to increase the letter spacing because these are a bit too close to one another. So I'm going to say 0.2 rem for the letter spacing to match 0.1. Maybe 0.05. 0.05. I think that is better, just for the readability of it all. And then now what you need to do is just scale this up. So when you scale this up to larger screens, what we need to do is limit our container. So remember the container, place this to be full screen. The container is right, and actually I didn't define it, but what we need to do is say that for the dot container class, we're going to give it a max width of, let's say, about 700 pixels, and that is going to limit it. And then we're going to give it a margin inline of auto. There you go. And then I'm going to give it a padding of 5 rem on the top and the bottom and 0 on the left and right, just so that you have some bit of leeway when you're scrolling all the way even to the bottom. Now, you know what, let me say 0 on the bottom because I don't want the attribution here to be pushed down so much, but I'm going to go to the attribution and increase this to 13 pixels. And then I'm going to say margin dash bottom, let's say 5 rem, which is going to increase the attribution quite a bit. I mean the spacing really. Now that we have that, we need to give the body a background color. Remember the background color, which was, I think it was rose white or something, or maybe eggshell. Copy this. Let's go back to the body, and in the body we're going to give this a background color of that. Now when I save this, look at what is going to happen. Now the entire body has the background color, but the container doesn't have a background color. And on small screens, we want the container to be white in color, right? And you know what? This shouldn't apply on small screens, so I actually did something wrong. So on the container, we should remove this from here, cut it out, and instead we should add it in as a media query. So I'm going to say add media, and for a min width of 768 pixels, then I want the padding on the container dot container padding to be that, so that now we don't have the padding here, but we still want the margin on the bottom for this one, just so that we can have some bit of scrolling. And yeah, now let's go back to the container on top. The container should have a background color of white. There we go. So that now it looks like this. So that now even when we're scaling it up to larger screens, then it has the background color of white. And we don't need this. We don't need this. So we need to change this from padding. We need to change this from padding to margin. And you know what? I messed it up. So now it should be margin of 5 rem on the top and auto on the left and right and 0 on the bottom. There we go. And then on the container, it has a border radius, if I remember correctly. Let's go back to the desktop. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the styles have changed only for this top one, only for the image. So what we need to do is this. Let's continue styling this out. We need to go ahead and say that for the image on top, sorry, not even the image. What am I doing? The container is still going to have padding all around of about 2 rem here. Let's check it out. There we go. Let's give it a border radius. So border radius 1 rem. Come on. And then the image. So the image, the container img, give it a border radius of 1 rem as well. And we're going to have that looking fantastic. And now I just want to increase this a bit because I feel it is a bit too small. So on the container, we're going to increase the max width to about 800 pixels or even 900 pixels. I think that is much better. Fantastic. So now that we have that, let me increase the margin on the attribution, the margin top. So margin bottom is here. So margin top about 1 rem, just to push it away from this container a bit. And yeah, and then we need to change this color and make this bigger. So we're going to say that for the container, for the banner H1, we need the font size to be about, let me say, 36 pixels. Wait, is it already 36 pixels by default? Let's say 48 pixels. There we go. And then we need to change this color because this is not the color of the H1. So we're going to go back on top where we have our banner. We're going to give this a color of HSL, and it should be a dark color, which is a dark color, dark charcoal. Copy, paste it here. Let's see. There we go. Fantastic. Now let's go ahead and submit this solution. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to open up GitHub, and then I'm also going to open up Netlify, and then I can close all of this. Open up my terminal here using Control J. Open up. And so let's create a new repository. And for this one, I'm going to call this, let's say, FM, and it is called, what's the challenge name? Recipe page. So recipe dash page. Let's create repository. And then let's copy this link. And then let's say git init. And then git add. Let me go ahead and do this. Let's say git add assets. Git commit, let's say fonts and images. Then git add design. And git commit -m design files. Git add all. So the rest of them git commit. I'm going to say app complete. Then git remote add origin, and then paste in our link. Then git branch -m main, then git push -u origin main, which is going to push it to GitHub. So let's go into Netlify. Let's create a new site from GitHub. and let's go ahead and search for it. And we know that it is called recipe page. So let that search, and this should have pushed to GitHub. Yes, right there. Fantastic. So it says, oh, I spelled this wrong. So recipe page. So there we go. Let's go ahead, loading. And then let's go ahead and say deploy. Let's change the site name here. So change site name, tsbsankara recipe page. Fantastic. And then let's take a look. And oops, not yet. So did I do something wrong? It's been published, but is it showing? Okay, there we go. So there we go. Now I just need to get the correct link here. Fantastic. Look at that. Now let's copy this link. Let's go into Frontend Mentor. Let's go ahead and say submit solution. This is the live site URL, and then the repository URL is this one. Copy, paste it here. Then let's say mobile first recipe page in HTML and CSS. And then let's say submit solution. We can close this. Let's wait a few moments. And there we go. So we can take a look at our solution right here. We can go ahead and say, where's our solution? Now let me zoom out so we can see the entire thing. And this is our solution, and this is the design. So we did almost well, but it did come out at least close to the design, you know. And there we go. So that is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers, and I will appreciate it if you help me on this journey. So once again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye-bye.